What's going on this morning, YouTube? Chris here. Just wanted to bring you guys a little update on Litecoin. I know some people were asking about it, so I wanted to do what I could for you guys and get it out. Guys, there hasn't been a ton of movement, obviously. Like when you're looking at Bitcoin and stuff, we've kind of been stuck around that $3,600 area, but I still want to go over this for you because there's a very key area of support that must hold for Litecoin, and I'm going to get into that today for you. But if you guys could, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that type of stuff, it really helps us out. And guys, also I wanted your opinion. Have you guys still been in positions from when it made this nice run up here, and are you guys stuck in them, or did you sell the top, or were you not even buying? Were you just staying in cash, or were you buying more to hodl? I want to know what you guys were doing. I just like to gauge kind of what you guys were doing off what I'm doing, different things like that, because guys, during this time, that run I wasn't convinced of it just due to what Bitcoin was doing. So I didn't FOMO into anything like that. I've just been patiently waiting for a beautiful pullback. And now we're going to have to see if this area around the 0.236 is going to hold, because if we drop back under that, it's very hard to get over that 0.236. So, and that's on the Fibonacci. So we're going to get into all that, guys. But what I wanted to show you here, we're going to start with just trend lines and how powerful the trend line breaks are. So guys, this was our trend line that we had here. And once we broke that trend line, do you see that we had a beautiful candle here? And we started moving forward. We started moving up. We made a higher high than right here. Then we came back down. We made a higher low, a lower high, higher low. About the same here on the high, but a higher low. Then we had our higher high, and then we've just broken down and made a lower low. So that's what's really important. And guys, this is on the 12-hour chart right now. We're at $30.46. We're up 1.67% today. But if we really zoom into this, and the reason why we're looking at those trend lines is because we've obviously broken that trend line. Remember, guys, when we break it, a lot of times you will come up and touch it before you start going back down. You're going to have two different types where we go up and touch it and then come back down, or we're going to just go straight down. And then you can also, guys, in certain circumstances, you can get up above this trend line again and start working, but we would have to make that higher high. So here's our highs, and then here's our lows. And you can see, guys, this is the cluster right here that I'm talking about. Let me see if I can find a little rectangle for us. So this whole area really needs to hold, like right in here. Is a really big deal, because you had a lot of support around this area. Here we go, guys. Let me see if that'll... There we go. Okay, so you're going to have a lot of support around those areas, and you can see we're kind of flirting with it here, guys. We had this low here, and then over here we have a little bit more support, and that's down around that $27. But if we do not hold that $27 here, then guys, most likely we'll be seeing you back at this very bottom here, and we'll be testing it again. Who knows, maybe we'll put in a double bottom off there, but there's a huge percentage loss that could happen. Say you get out, you know, around this $30, or you don't get out around this $30, and say you're still holding and it continues to fall down, you could be looking at a loss of, because it's really important to always know these things, guys, unless you just want to hold for the long term, which is fine. But that could be another 26% loss if we fall down that much. And remember, this game's all about those percentage, guys. It's a really big deal. All right, so that's why I was bringing up this trend line. So just how important this trend line break was, where we had a really nice move. We had a trend line break here, which, guys, I really would have loved to see this bounce off there. That could have given us a lot more, you know, clues and different things like that, but that wasn't the case. So we got to deal with what we have to deal with. So I'm going to get all that stuff off there, guys, real quick. Next thing I want you guys to pay attention to is take a look at this RSI. So you see how we had the tweezer tops here? We got pushed back down, and this was basically almost a bearish engulfing candle that took place as well. Engulfs this here, we had our tweezer tops. So we knew we were going to get pushed back down. Then also look at the RSI. So your price here on the RSI was around 35. And the RSI is just as high as when the price pushed up to over $40, or around that $40. So there you could see you had that bearish divergence that was taking place, that the price was kind of increasing, but the RSI was kind of staying the same or going down. So that's always a big deal to pay attention to those divergences and try to pick them out. So we're going to get rid of this, guys, and then we're going to look at it on the day. On the 1 day, I just want to look at the candle, how it formed last night. All right. So guys, obviously, higher high, higher low, higher high. And then here, guys, we're flirting with this area right here. Like we said, we don't want to really drop past this $27.54. That's major support. You have support here, which came on a big bullish engulfing candle. And we also had our support over here, guys. So this is a big area for Litecoin to hold right now. We really need to pay attention to it. The close yesterday, that's not the most beautiful candle you want to see there, guys, obviously. So right here, we closed darn near the bottom right here around this support level. You see, but today we have gotten a little bit, you know, if it closed like this, we would basically have a Harami pattern that was forming, and we would have to pay attention to that and see what was going on. But we have to wait for the close. That's the biggest deal. We really have to pay attention to the close. The RSI is at 45 right now, so we got to keep our eye on that. And then, guys, remember, anytime you see things like this, there's a longer wick here, you got that shooting star there, and we are followed up by what looks like a very small, like, bearish spinning top, and then we had our confirmation here with that bearish railroad track looking candle right there that just continued to push us down. So we're going to have to see if Litecoin has the guts to be able to hold this support level, guys, and also what Bitcoin's going to do. So, you know, guys, keep your head up. Just keep really paying attention to these things, looking at these things. You know, really pay attention to the trends, too. Like this one here. This is a little mini trend that formed, guys. Okay, so we got to pay attention to that stuff as well. And then let's check out, real quick, our MACD. Alright, guys, so we do have the cross on the daily, too. That's also making me nervous about this support being held. Is just due to the fact that we have that cross and the histogram starting to tick down more to the negative side. It seems like it's gaining strength there, guys. Then I wanted to do the Bollinger Bands. I think it's great to look at many different indicators. So, guys, we're below the middle band here. The middle band's going to be around that $32 area. And on the low here, in terms of the Bollinger Band, you're looking at 26. So, you know, guys, there is still a good amount of room to fall here. Remember, when those Bollinger Bands get tight and squeezed, you're looking for a break. When they're a little bit wider, you have more of that volatility. I mean, guys, this is a big fall that took place here. If we get our percentage tool back out and pay attention to these drops, so from the high there around 42, and also look where we hit that overhead resistance that we were talking about. But you take that down to where we're at here, that's a 25% drop. So, you know, guys, it's all about the percentages, and also you have to protect your capital. That's the biggest thing, is protecting your capital, because we can't even be in this game or play this game if we don't have any capital. So that's the number one thing. You know, you can't FOMO into stuff, guys. I know it's hard to do or not do, but you know, you really have to sit back and be patient, just like when we saw this run taking place here. I really wanted to see what we were going to do with this area, and I also wanted to see what we were going to do with this area, because this was another very tough area here where many guys could have went short as well if we got up to that height. And guys, we did not make it to the 0.618, which a lot of times we would have went up to. Just looking back at how Bitcoin's dealt with this, these reactions have went to the 0.618. Just like when you go long off the 0.618, a lot of people go short off it in the opposite direction. We made it exactly to the 50 here on the close. We wicked up above it, but we did not close above the 50. So that's something else to keep an eye on, that we did not have that push up to that 43.64 that we were dealing with, guys. Okay? So these are things I wanted to bring you. It's just a very quick video. There's not a ton to talk about, guys. You know, we were looking for those trend lines, trend line breaks. We had this trend line break, so we're going to have to see what we end up doing with this. If we're going to go back up and we're going to get in that trend, guys, in that trend line right there, you can see where the break happened on the daily. Are we going to come back up and test this and get back into it? Or are we just going to fall back down? Or are we going to continue to fall from that spot? Are we going to hit this and fall back down? There's all different types of things that can happen. All right, but this obviously is a heavy overhead resistance area that we're now going to have to look at and pay attention to. So right around that area, which is also going to be close to that 0.618. But guys, I just want to bring this to you. Like, subscribe, all that. I really appreciate it. I don't know how many videos I'm going to be able to get out today. I'll try my best, but you know, there's just not a ton to talk about right now. The market's kind of in a way, I mean, it already had its dump, but it's kind of just been moving sideways here. We're going to have to see if we have that further dump or that capitulation that could potentially take Bitcoin down to 3,100 or so, that bottom, or if we're going to be moving up a little bit here, you have to have a plan for both sides. But like, subscribe, guys, all that. I want to continue to bring these things to you. I want to continue to show these things to you. And I also want to show you guys, like just here, this is a beautiful harami pattern on the day, but we didn't have follow through. We didn't continue to go back up. So as great as candlesticks are, you always have to look for that confirmation. You also want to put other Western indicators with your candlesticks and kind of blend them all together. So that's what I'm here to do for you guys. I want to try to be the best that I can in terms of candlesticks for you, and just be there for you. I mean, even this one here, guys, this wouldn't qualify as a bearish engulfing, but this would qualify as a dark cloud cover that penetrated more than 50% into this. So that would have been a huge sign. If we would have seen that, that more downside could have potentially been coming. And we did have the clarification of this right here after it, so we had that confirmation as well. But I love going through, guys, checking out the candles. I mean, take a look at this one here. That's almost like the gravestone doji. Then we had our bullish engulfing candle. We moved up. We had our shooting star here. There's so many different candles that you're able to pick out if you pay attention to this stuff, guys, and really study it. So I'm still waiting on those 4 books from Thrift Books, but when I get those, I want to do like an unboxing or unpacking just to kind of show you the condition, the books that I got, and the quality from this Thrift Books place, guys. I mean, 4 books that can bring me so much knowledge for $15 in good shape is just amazing. You can't pass it up. So I'm here for you guys. Please leave some comments down below. God bless each and every one of you. Take care.